The question is football or cricket, and by football I mean English, European, world football, not American football, because I know people get confused sometimes, but I mean regular football or cricket. Which one is in the public zeitgeist right now? Which one are you watching if you're watching any? Because for me, I used to be football 24/7, 365 days a year for decades. But over the last 2 or 3 weeks, while the Euros have been going on, there's the CONMEBOL going on in America and South America, I've not really been paying attention to it. But I have been paying attention to the T20 World Cup in America and the Caribbean, the West Indies. And I will say, the T20 has been far more interesting. The cricket has been to a much higher level of entertainment than the football has been by multiple folds. I don't know why this is, because I'm kind of an on and off cricket watcher. I go through phases of being involved and not being involved, whereas football, I watch the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, all these leagues I keep up with every year. But for some reason, and I don't know why, the Euros just don't seem that interesting this year. Maybe I just don't care as much. Maybe I know Gareth Southgate's going to mess it up and that's just how it's going to be, and England are going to get out in the quarterfinals or semi-finals and that'll be the end of him and that'll be the end of this entire run. But the ICC T20 World Cup was just so good, and there were so many shocks and moments of, damn, did this really just happen? That it made the entire process so much more fun and engaging, and the final was absolutely bombastic, alright? You had India coming about, and then you had South Africa chasing it, never been chased down, that type of run count, and they almost did it. But in the end, India got the job done. They got the W, and it was well deserved because it was so back and forth. I think it's the best cricket match I've watched since the one-day international final in 2019 with England and New Zealand, where England somehow, from the depths of despair, got the job done. I don't know how they did it. Ben Stokes, legend, legend, legend. And in this case, India, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. I mean, you look at some of the players that were playing to their highest level in these final few games, and you say, it's pretty amazing. And then, that final catch of Miller, that was that changing point. Because if he hadn't got out in those last 5-6 overs, I'm telling you, South Africa would have won the match. That would have been it, because that man can hit, he can swing. But the way that catch was handled, absolutely unbelievable stuff. If you haven't watched it, I would say watch the highlights of the T20 final. It was some real good shit. But we got to do fact of the day. Page number 203, fact number 1. If all the time our eyes are shut when blinking is added together, we spend 1.2 years of our waking lives in pitch darkness. Well, seems like a waste of time. But if you didn't do that, I'm sure your brain would just malfunction because it's probably getting too much input. And that way, the blinking is actually useful because it's giving you those momentary little bits of respite so you can actually do the things you need to do, otherwise you're just gonna collapse. I think there's something there, biologically, evolutionary-wise, or just from the great divine above. And I mean, it might be a factor of all those 3 things, 1, 2, 3, all factoring into each other. I don't know. I'm just saying, shit happens for a reason. Sometimes you don't understand the reason, but it does happen. In this case, I'm looking at sports and I'm saying I'm enjoying the cricket more than I'm enjoying the football, which seemed a million miles off, but it's where we are.